Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, good night, and good day, and welcome to the closing ceremony of Campbelltown Australs 2022. It is a delight to have you all here today joining us, and we want to thank you all for being a part of this tournament so far. Just 1 second. Every time we do the introduction, the Zoom loops and we start having audio feedback, so apologies to everyone for that yet again. We have a massive closing ceremony packed for you today, full of awards and thank yous. So today we'll work with an Adjudicators address first of all, then all the awards, and then we'll come back for a concluding message and thank yous at the end. So to start things off, I'd like to introduce one of your chief adjudicators, Ellie Stevenson.
Hello, everyone. And yeah, my name is Ellie, as mentioned. So most of this CA address is just going to be thanks, because obviously setting up a tournament in like really 1 month is no small feat, no small task either, and therefore it is a feat and task that has been divided between many people, all of whom deserve thanks. Firstly, thanks to some sponsors, to Aljana Campbelltown for nourishment, to Tokyo UniZoom, but not to Auckland UniZoom. Auckland Uni does not pay for their students to have Zoom, but we don't know why. And thank you most of all to the anonymous participant who described this adjudication core as the most attractive CAP in the last few years. All of you are very kind. But thank you also to some real people. Clearly, thank you to the TAB team, whose work often exists behind the scenes, but it's incredibly important. If you like things like tabs, like draws, ballots, like the tournament running, you should probably thank the TAB team. So thank you very much to Peter, Jodamoy, and Simon for all of your hard work. Yeah, cool. And also on the Orgcom, I think a massive thank you is earned very thoroughly by Rob. I'm going to do a clap here. This Australs just wouldn't exist if Rob didn't. And I think everyone is pretty happy to have an Australs this year, and therefore to be really, really grateful for that hard work. And I guess speaking personally, I'm pretty happy to have a Western Sydney Australs. I think it's really nice. It's good to see it. And again, that would not happen without Rob. So I think a really, really enormous thank you and congratulations to them. Thank you also to all of our judges, whether you're independent adjudicators or institutional adjudicators, even if you split from us sometimes. Thanks for showing up, even sometimes while you're unwell, even sometimes in the depths of night or in the early morning. We're sorry about time zones. Obviously, once again, tournaments cannot run without their judges. And we were overall blown away by how competitive this judge break was, by all of your talents and all of your hard work. And I'm sure also the debaters at this tournament would join me by thanking all of the judges. Finally, I just want to say I hope everyone enjoyed the motions. We're really angry there was no final about Campbelltown value systems. We're sorry for inflicting approximately 60 environment motions on you. If you hate the environment, that is my bad. But you're welcome for inflicting approximately 2,000 words of info slides on you. We hope that you learned a lot. We hope this was a learning experience. But yeah, overall, thanks very much everyone for taking part in Campbelltown Australs 2022. Could not have done it without you, and we're so glad you made it the tournament it was.
Okay. Thank you very much, Ellie, for those kind words and for doing a phenomenal job as part of the Adj Corps. We're now moving on to our grand final adjudicator announcements and congratulations.
Yeah, hello, thank you for this tournament. And once again, similar to last year, instead of doing a top 10 adjudicators, we just wanted to acknowledge a group of adjudicators who performed incredibly well and have just helped out so much this tournament. So we would like to thank our grand final adjudicators, Chinmaya Mohan, Daniel Maya Gant, Gautam Desaraju, Jenny Lee, Maya Anderson, Michael Donahue Evans, Michael Yi Shu, Nicola Brayan, Pranab Anand, Tenku Omar, and Youngwoo Park. Congratulations.
And we're now moving on to the best reply speakers. I think that's you, Umber.
Yeah, hi everyone. So happy to be announcing the best reply speakers. Our 10th best reply speaker with an average of 38.58 from USU 4, Sam Druce. Congratulations. In ninth place with an average of 38.59 from ANU 2, congrats to Dhruv Hariharan. In eighth place with an average speaker score of 38.65 from the University of Malaya 1, Kuhan Karthikeyan. Congratulations. In seventh place with an average speaker score of 38.68 from USU 3, congratulations to William Price. In sixth place with an average speaker score of 38.75, congrats to James Kapicki from Melbourne 1. In fifth place with an average speaker score of 38.81 from UB Diliman 1, congratulations to Luigi Alcaniesis. In fourth place with an average speaker score of 38.84, congrats to Jordan Gibson from ANU 1. And in third with an average speaker score of 38.96 from USU 1, congratulations to Brendan Chen. Our second best reply speaker with an average speaker score of 39 from Macquarie 1, congratulations to Brendan Winters. And that leaves the best reply speaker of Australs for 2022 with an average speaker score of 39.03. Congratulations to David Africa from SNAO 1.
Thank you, Umber, and congratulations to all those speakers. We're now going to hand over to Shujan, who's going to announce the top 3 EFL speakers.
All right, hi everyone. So we'll start with the best EFL speakers on the tournament, top 3. The third base EFL speaker with a speaker average of 75.48 is Beauty Ariel Ben from Atmaja 1. Congratulations. The second best EFL speaker with a speaker average of 75.85 from NSU 1 is Adi Faisal. Congratulations. Finally, the best EFL speaker of Australs 2022 with a speaker score average of 75.88 is Brian Jose Antonio Hamber from UGM 1. Congratulations to everyone. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Shujan, and congratulations to all those speakers. I'm now going to head over to Tota, who's going to announce the first batch of ESL top 10 speakers.
Hello, this is Tota. I'm very happy to announce the top 10 ESL speakers. Starting with the 10th best ESL speaker with a speaker score of 76.27. Congratulations from NSG 1, Siam Marjan Hossain. On to the 9th best ESL speaker with a speaker score of 76.29. From Malaya 2, Melvir J. Congratulations. On to 8th best ESL speaker with a speaker score of 76.31. Congratulations, Debayan Bhattacharya from Mumbai 1. 7th best ESL speaker with a speaker score of 76.33 is from Malaya 2, Rashravan Pillai. Congratulations. The 6th best ESL speaker with a speaker score of 76.85 from Malaya 1, Asan. Congratulations. The 5th best ESL speaker with a speaker score of 76.88 from Malaya 1, Kuhan Karthikeyan. Congratulations. Now announcing the 4th best ESL speaker with a speaker score of 77.02. Congratulations from VIT 1, Manasija Das. On to the 3rd best ESL speaker with a speaker score of 77.17 average. From Malaya 1, Catherine, Alicia, Nathan. Congratulations. Now announcing the second best ESL speaker with a speaker score of 77.19. Congratulations from VIT 1, Sumitra Tonapi.
Thank you very much for that, Toto. Congratulations to all those speakers. The best speaker of the ESL category is awarded the Bobby and Dika Rutang Memorial Trophy. I'd now like to invite Tanku Omar up to give a speech in memoriam of Bobby.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. This is Omar. Apologies for interrupting the suspense, but I was asked to lead this Bobby and Dika Rutang commemoration session leading up to the Best ESL Speaker Award, and I'm more than happy to do so, to pay tribute not only to my best friend, but also to an inspiration, a role model, and a cosmic figure in the debating circuit. Thank you, Rob, OC, and HCore for the thoughtful initiative, as this means a lot to Indonesia debating. Bobby is undoubtedly a gigantic figure in the debating circuit, be it Indonesia, Asia, or the world. I can hear them say, "Oh, you're saying I'm huge, huh?" with that endearing sass and a glare that would go on to inspire Game Freak to make a similar move in Pokemon games that would paralyze people. But that's what they are, a star-sized giant in the community because of what they are, what they have done, what they have created, and the impact they had left. Bobby paved the way for many of the achievements by Indonesian and many speakers whose English is not their first language in the international debating scene. They became the first Indonesian to ever make it to the World ESL Grand Final, along with their best friend, Odi, who is currently reunited with them up there. They became the very first Indonesian to have ever edge-scored the 3 majors in Asia, UADC, ABP, Australs. They were supposed to also become the very first Indonesian to edge-score WSTC last year, but unfortunately, they passed away a mere few weeks before that took place. And not only that, they became Indonesia's first out of many representations in the international debating scene, they also became a huge part of our firsts. They were probably there during your first debating competition, be it in schools or varsity. They were probably around when you first broke either as a debater or as a judge. They probably have mentioned your names when receiving speaker or judge awards. They were probably one of the few people whose speeches videos you watch for training purposes. They were probably the first name that popped into your head when being asked who gave the best first speaker and reply speeches. The point is, there was such a huge part of many of our firsts, and we couldn't just imagine what would life and debating be without Bobby. Their passing a little over a year ago is not just a personal loss to many, but also a communal loss, for they have been such a staple in Indonesian, Asian, and even world debating. Bobby once said that they would prefer to be celebrated, mourned. What better way to do so to award the ESL Best Speaker of this tournament? I know for sure Bobby would have wanted us to continue their legacy, spreading our wings much further away, as we must not let what they had done go to waste, keep pushing our boundaries for each and every one of us whom Bobby fought so hard for. Whenever Bobby was judging or edge-scoring, they would think about their EFL or ESL brothers, sisters, and non-conforming comrades, and so many roads they have paved for all of us, because they know the challenges of being in a debating world when English is not your first language, that only us could and would understand. Debating for Bobby is a home and a safe space. It's, after all, a platform for us to think beyond ourselves and see a wider horizon that is the world. And that's what Bobby fought for. And for that, I salute the ESL Best Speaker of the tournament, and may you always be a beacon of hope, an icon of celebration, and a testament that greatness goes beyond language barriers, much like Bobby was. Congratulations, and I'm passing it back to the EdgeCore.
Thank you very much for those beautiful words. Bobby's presence is one that is still felt, and it still means a lot to the debating community. And I'm sure this award will continue to make sure their legacy continues going forward. I'd now like to invite up Sharuka, who will announce the best ESL speaker.
Hi, everyone. It is my great pleasure to announce that the overall best ESL speaker and the winner of the Bobby and Dika Rutang Memorial Trophy with a speaker score average of 78.19 is Bea Legaspi from UPT 11-1. Congratulations.
Congratulations, Bea, and thank you very much, Shah. We are now moving on to announcing the top 10 open speakers. To announce the first batch of these, I'd like to welcome back up Ellie.
Hi, everyone. So on to the best open speakers, starting with the 10th best open speaker with a average speaker point of 77.85. Congratulations to Brendan Chen from the University of Sydney Union 1. Next up, the 9th best open speaker with an average of 77.88. Congratulations to Eugene Backer from USU2. The 8th best open speaker with an average of 77.9 is Katerina Kuo from USU1. And the 7th best open speaker with an average of 77.94. Congratulations to Sam Trotter from USU3.
In 5th place, we have joined 5th open best speaker at an average of 78.06. The speaker is Ali Pitt from ANU1. All right, the second 5th best open speaker is Luigi Akonisens from UPD1. The 4th best open speaker and also the best overall ESL speaker at an average of 78.19 speaker scores is Bill Legaspi from UPD1. All right, so we are now going to move into the Martin Sorensen Trophies announcement, which is awarded to the overall best speaker of the open category every year. So Martin was the best debater of his generation, and it is a long-standing tradition for a Monash debater to pay tribute to Martin before the announcement of the overall best speaker. I was originally asked to give the tribute speech as this year's DCA from Monash, but I really think that there's someone better to pay tribute from Monash. And he embodies the very essence of Martin Sorensen's selfless dedication to debating in and out of Monash. And it's seen in his role from organizing Monash Australs in 2020 and also Monash Easters 2022. And he even wrote the club's equity policy. It gives me great pride and pleasure to introduce the club's current vice president and also my beloved partner, Peter Drew, to pay tribute to Martin Sorensen.
Thank you, Joel. I didn't personally ever get the privilege of meeting Martin Sorensen, as many of the people here won't have also had that privilege. And I would like to thank Raymond de Cruz and Daniel Selm, whose lovely tributes inform this speech. From high school, Martin was consistently an exceptional debater, repeatedly representing Victoria and Australia on the state and national teams respectively. At university, his debating was also nothing short of amazing. He never lost in his time at Monash Untold an internal competition and represented Monash at the highest level. At Australs in 1991, Monash went in never having been to a grand final at any major tournament. Monash in 1991, under Martin's leadership, or was with Martin on that team, finished in the grand final, but they finished the runner-up. The following year in 1992, they again went to Australs and they again went to the grand final under Martin. This time, though, they finished the champions, and Martin was awarded the Best Speaker Award, which is now named after him, and was Best Speaker of that tournament. In 1993, Martin repeated his success from 1992, again winning the championship for a second time in a row, and again being awarded Best Speaker for the second time in a row. In 3 years, Martin had taken Monash from never having been to a grand final to winning the Australs tournament back-to-back. More importantly, however, than this debating achievement, is the manner in which Martin achieved this success. Martin always debated fairly, honestly, and with integrity. In his debating, he always spoke with integrity and fairly. His debating was an important academic endeavour and deserved the associated respect. Martin worked hard also to ensure that he could share his experience and his expertise with younger debaters, and was a fierce advocate for novice training. He prioritised novice development significantly in Monash and the wider circuit, and would repeatedly and regularly debate with novices who had otherwise been overlooked and help them to develop and improve. And in doing this, Martin unlocked and ensured years of success in Monash and broadly in the circuit. Martin also valued fairness and equity and equality in debating. Everyone I've spoken to has agreed that Martin would be a passionate advocate for the modern equity system and a passionate advocate for continuing to advance and ensure debating is a fair, safe space for everyone who wants to participate. Martin's story, unfortunately, however, has a devastating ending. Days after winning the Australs in 1993, and before his teammates had even made it back to Australia, Martin died from cystic fibrosis. His teammates had the devastating experience of getting off the plane in Melbourne, and before time of mobile phones, obviously, being greeted by Martin's parents and told the devastating news. They weren't even aware that Martin had cystic fibrosis. Martin had been so adamant on just doing the debating and never complained or never told anyone, not even his teammates, that they weren't even aware about how sick Martin was while he continued to debate days before he then died. Martin's life and achievements were cut short. Many people have observed that beyond his debating success, Martin's success in business and economics means he may well have been a like governor of the Reserve Bank of Australia or other highly important, highly influential public figure. He was unfortunately cut short, and his achievements also. The Best Speaker Award is named after Martin, so we can remember him and his achievements and everything he stood for. And when we debate, we can always strive to embody those same values that Martin did, to debate with excellence, but with fairness and honesty. I'd now like to hand back over to the Adjudication Corps, who will announce the Best Speaker.
So, the Martin Sorensen Trophy, which is awarded for the overall Best Speaker of the open category, is now given in a three-way tie. So we have a three-way overall Best Speaker award. At an average of 78.44, the first overall Best Speaker is Matthew Toomey from USU 1. The second overall Best Speaker of Australs is David Africa from Ateneo 1. And the final overall Best Speaker for Australs 2022 this year is Uday Kamath from Macquarie 1. Woo! Congratulations to all the open top 10 Best Speakers. We'll now move on into the next segment of awards.
Thank you very much, Joel. Congratulations to all those speakers. A special congratulations to my old teammate Uday on becoming one of the equal best speakers of Australs. Well done, my friend. We now move on to announcing the results of the finals. Congratulations to all our finals teams. We have first up the EFL finals. I'd like to invite the chair of that panel, Maya Anderson, to announce the results of that debate.
Hi everyone, so I'm Maya. I was the chair of the EFL Grand Final. So on the affirmative, we had the team Atmajaya 1, and on negative, we had UGM 1. And the panel ultimately gave the debate to the affirmative team, Atmajaya 1, on a 5-2 split. So congrats to that team. And then we awarded the best speaker to the third affirmative speaker, Beauty Ariel Ben.
Thank you very much for that, Maya. Congratulations to our winning team of the EFL final of this tournament. We're now going to move on to the ESL Grand Final results. I'd like to invite up the chair of that debate, Mikey Zhu.
Hi, everyone. It was a huge honor to chair the ESL Grand Final for this year. It was an excellent debate between on-side affirmative, Mumbai University 1, and on-side negative, University Malaya 1. I was joined on the panel by Jenny, Joel, Kat, Nicola, Tenku, and Youngwoo Park. In what was ultimately a unanimous decision, the winners of the ESL category for Australs 2022 is the side on the negative team, Malaya 1. In terms of the final best speaker, it was a 4-2-1 split. The finals best speaker for the ESL category of Australs 2022 was the first negative speaker, Ashan.
Congratulations to Malaya 1 on their victory. We'll now move on to the next award in the ceremony. This is for the Open Grand Finals for UP Diliman 1 and USU 3. We will reverse the order for this slightly and announce the finals best speaker first, because that is a named trophy for Jock Fanslow. I'd like to invite up Lucy Jessup from the University of Victoria, Wellington to speak to this award.
I didn't personally meet Jock Fanslow, but I know that he left a large impact on the Victoria Debating Society and on New Zealand debating as a whole. And I'd really like to thank the notes that I was given from his friends and family in order to remember him and make this speech. Jock was part of the first New Zealand team to win Australs in 1980, and he then won it again in 1982, a rare accomplishment. His friends and family described him as a man with a strong sense of justice and a keen wit. He was known for pulling facts seemingly from thin air in debates, and always with a sense of humour. He represented New Zealand on the schools team, the university team, and the overall New Zealand team. However, he suffered from poor health throughout his life and tragically passed away at the age of 48 in 2006, but not without having a large impact on the debating community as well as the New Zealand legal community. The Jock Fanslow Cup for the best speaker at an Australs final was donated by his family and friends to honour his legacy. And I'm sure he'd be very proud to see whoever was being awarded this prize today.
Thank you very much, Lucy. We'd now like to invite up the chair of the Open Grand Final panel, Michael Donoghue-Evans, to announce the finals best speaker and the result of the debate.
Awesome. So as Rob mentioned, we're going to start with the Open Best Speaker of this debate. We reached a 5-2 split about the best speaker, but it was ultimately awarded to the third negative speaker, Sam Trotter. In terms of the debate itself, the panel agreed that this was a debate of an exceptionally high quality, and we're incredibly grateful that debaters managed to give us such a great resource for future generations to learn from and watch back on. We all thought it was incredibly close, but we did ultimately reach a unanimous decision, and that decision was to award the winner of this debate to the negative team, USU3.
Thank you very much, Michael, for that. And congratulations to USU3 on taking out the Open Final. Congratulations as well to all our speakers and all our teams participating in today. We now move on to the closing remarks of Australs 2022. So you're stuck with my voice for one last time. At Nepal Australs last year, I was honoured to be asked by the Adjudication Court to give the final address at the closing ceremony. And nearly 12 months later, we're here again. And I started that speech at Nepal by trying to do a welcome in Nepali to recognise where we were. So I figured I'd do the same thing for Campbelltown Australs. So g'day mates, how's it going? It has been an absolute honour and highlight to bring you, at least virtually, here to Campbelltown Australs. It's also been a bit stressful given the short lead-in time we had, but I hope and I believe that it was all worth it to ensure we had an Australs this year. This was not something that was done alone, and I'd like to take a moment to acknowledge and thank all the people who helped to make this event possible. When I was putting together this event, I said I wanted the best in the business to help run the various teams that make a tournament happen, and I think we ended up getting that. Firstly, to our tab and tech team, to Peter, Joy, and Simran. We could not run a tab, or a tournament rather, without such a talented team as you all. Tab teams deserve every ounce of praise they receive, and especially online when you have to deal with Zoom and Tabtastic and Discord and confirmation ballots and missing ballots. So thank you all for that. To Simran and Joy in particular, your expertise with Tabtastic and with Discord was invaluable to this tournament and made sure it could run in the best possible way. And Peter, being here in person, a Campbelltown local on our third major tournament working together, thank you. It was so good to not just have a tournament in Campbelltown, but to be able to convene it with another local and someone also, another alumni of the Western Sydney Debating Union. It was a pleasure working with you as always. Peter is one of the best in the business, and if you're looking for a tab master, you should get in touch with any of these three people. To our wonderful Adj Corps, starting with our CAs, Ellie, Umbar, and Tota. Campbelltown Australs was a thought bubble that came up at Tyler Ong during Sydney Grand Slam in March, when Ellie agreed in principle to the concept of CA in Campbelltown Australs. Many months later, and a failed in-person bid from another country, and Ellie was very enthusiastic to jump back on this bid as it became an urgent reality that this was what we need to do to make Australs happen. And then to be joined by Umbar and Tota was a real dream team. And then it got even better with a great group of DCAs with Joel, Kat, Shrajin, and Shah joining the team. As a team, they worked incredibly hard and were incredibly easy to work with. I haven't actually had much interaction with the team in the lead up because I didn't need to. They just had everything under control, and that was incredibly helpful for me as a convener because I knew what they were doing and they did it well. And as Ellie noted, it was incredible that they got this done in such little time and such a little lead-in, considering that most Australs have a year to a year and a half in terms of the pre-bidding stage as well. So thank you for all your work. I also want to take a couple of special notes about our Adj Corps that I'm particularly proud of beyond just their hard work and excellent results. I'm as best as I can tell, these statistics are accurate, at least within the memory of the last 10 years. Umbar is the first woman of colour from New Zealand as CA, and then Shah, joining us DCA, became the second person of colour from New Zealand to join an Australs Adj Corps. Ellie was a public school kid from outside the Sydney area as chief adjudicator. As a public school kid myself, means the world to show us that we can do that despite not going to the best private schools in the country. Tota, the first debater from Japan to be a chief adjudicator of Australs, and Shujan. We were so excited last year to put you on a grand final as the first person from Nepal to judge an Australs grand final, and now to have you as the first person from Nepal on Australs AdJCore is also particularly exciting. We had a majority non-cis male AdJCore and a majority people of colour AdJCore, and I'm particularly proud of the fact that we had such a strong group that represented such a broad cross-section of the debating community. The next team I want to thank is actually just one person, and that is our training team, Daniel Meyer-Gant. Daniel has created an incredible series of resources on the YouTube channel. We hope to keep growing this over the next little while as well. And it was something different to the usual. We had chats with CAs about how motions were set that will hopefully continue to grow. We had practice preps that showed you how the best in the business prepped, and we had show debates to show you what the best of the region can produce on classic debating motions. And there are a few people more passionate and enthusiastic about sharing training resources than DMG. So mate, thank you for your work in making that resources possible. I want to next thank our language team, Tabanun, Anum, Tenku, and Ogander. You were super professional, you got the job done, and even when things looked like they were going a bit awry at the last minute because of last minute appeals and double checks on things, you dealt with it quickly and accurately and made our lives a lot easier as well. So thank you for making sure that the tournament and the language categories could happen at this Australs. The next team I want to thank is our equity team. Thank you to Sajipto, Nayara, Ruth, and Joy. Fortunately, we didn't have to hear much from them in the tournament. So thank you everyone else for behaving. But more importantly, it is essential you have an equity team that is around, that makes sure that the tournament has a safe space for participants to operate in. And I think our equity team did a great job at doing that. I also want to thank our scholarships team, to Jess, Shomei, and Abhishek. I'm very proud of the fact we were able to make 8 full team registrations available as scholarships. All 7 applicants were given those scholarships, and 6 of those teams were ultimately able to attend the tournament free of cost. And I think that's a fantastic initiative that those 2 were able to spearhead and process. So thank you to them for their work. The last group I want to thank is not technically a group as part of the bid, but is a group that helps us a lot, and that is AIDA Council. AIDA Council is often maligned and no one goes to it, but it is an incredibly important part of the tournament and of making Australs happen. And personally, a massive thank you to Uday. Being council chair is a huge and often unthanked role, but Australs couldn't happen without the guidance and support of someone like Uday, telling us where things were going wrong, helping us with schedules and making sure we were following constitutional regulations and things like that. And Uday has now stepped down from his role as AIDA president, so I want to thank Uday for his years of service to AIDA councils and wish best of luck to Xavier, who is taking over as AIDA president going forward. Outside the team, I want to say a massive thank you to our sponsor, Speaking Schools Australasia, who helped us by sponsoring all the tech to make this tournament work. They're also my company, and my boss gave me leave to be here and let me do a lot of work for this tournament while in the office. So a massive thank you to Mark and the team at Speaking Schools Australasia. I also want to thank EduDrift. They were our registrations partner for this tournament and made the whole registration process incredibly easy by handling all the payments in and out. And genuinely, this is an area I could not have done without their expertise. So Australs only happened because of the partnership with them. So thank you. There's also a couple of thanks of support I want to give. The first is to Macquarie Debating, the host institution of this online tournament. Thank you for agreeing to sign up and putting your trust in me that we could run this tournament and not tarnish the name of Macquarie University. I also want to give a big thanks to the Western Sydney Debating Union. They got me into this activity, provided me with the home and the foundations to get where I am today. So thank you to the Western Sydney Debating Union for helping me get to where I am. I also want to, on a personal note, thank Bree and Chris for lots of their support and encouragement, especially with Bree setting up the in-person break night when we were stuck finalising things with the AdJCore here and getting it working. And I think of them because when this first started, they asked if this bid was just secret propaganda for Campbelltown. And the answer is, it was never secret. Campbelltown is my hometown. I grew up here, I still live here, and I'm proud to do so. Unfortunately, Campbelltown gets a bit of an unfair and rough go in the media, perhaps because we're a low SES and multicultural area outside Sydney. We don't really fit in with media narratives of what, how the world should be. And I guess I wish I could have hosted you all here in Campbelltown, show you how beautiful and special the place is, but online will have to do. And I hope if you don't believe me, you will take Joel's word for just how good the culinary culture of Campbelltown is.
Which is great.
It means a lot to me that after going to public schools, both in primary school and high school here in Campbelltown, and only doing about 5 debates in high school and starting a university without a debating society, that I can be here now convening the Australasian Championships, and that Campbelltown will be up there forever with such incredible hosts of past, Bali, Malaysia, Otago, Solbridge, and incredible hosts of the future, Krabi, and the ones beyond that. It was great as well to combine our in-person break night with the 10-year celebration of the West Sydney Debating Union. 10 years of bringing debating to the Southwest, to helping people who've never done debating before find their voice, and to bringing debate training to local schools. Australs is, in my opinion at least, the best format in the world. It is the best tournament in the world. Our region is home to the best debaters in the world, and this format brings out the best in those debaters. 3 people, half an hour to prepare rigorous, deep cases, and 8 minutes of uninterrupted time to stand up there with nowhere to hide and everything to prove. It's challenging, it's thrilling, and it's rewarding. And I hope that we are able to provide an Australs that gave everyone an experience like that. Congratulations to all our best speakers, our champion teams, and our finals judges. These are huge achievements and you should be proud, because I know your societies and your circuits will be proud of you. The pandemic over the last few years has put the debating world in a bit of a spin and really messed up the calendar. Who would have thought we'd have an Australs in November? Online majors, I think, are better than no majors, but I really do hope this is the last online Australs. I'm really looking forward to seeing you all in July, in person, in Krabi next year. Andre, the baton is passed back to you as the next convener. Good luck. Thank you again, everyone, for being a part of this Australs, and for everyone who kept going with online debating during the pandemic and ensured that our beloved activity stayed alive when everything suggested it might not. In the immortal words of Ollie Cummins featuring the Grammar Boys, debating forever. Until next we meet, may your speaks be high and your adjudications be fair. Thank you all and good night.